In the days leading up to this moment, I joke that Trump kept extending the deadline for Iran to open Hormuz the same way during his first administration. Every week was infrastructure week. I flippantly said during his first term, every Monday, his press office would declare the president is going to spend the entire week rolling out his big plans to rebuild our nation's crumbling infrastructure. And then some crisis triggered by Trump's incompetence would immediately necessitate wiping infrastructure week off the calendar. So in the lead up to this evening's deadline, which Trump has continued to move, originally the deadline was last night at 8 p.m. Eastern, but he gave them an additional 24 hours. He said he gave them an additional 24 hours because I'm a nice guy. That's what he said during his Monday press conference. So I flippantly said this is destroying infrastructure week. He'll threaten to destroy Iran's entire infrastructure. He's going to threaten war crimes on an industrial scale, and then it won't happen. Well, he has been committing war crimes already on an industrial scale. Despite Trump always chickening out, some were calling this Taco Tuesday, never underestimate Donald Trump's ability to destroy millions of lives along the road to his ultimate act of cowardice. According to new reporting in today's New York Times, the idea for the bombing campaign that started on February 28th was presented to Trump and several top White House officials inside the Situation Room on February 12th. And Netanyahu presented what amounted to be a four-part plan: decapitate the leadership, cripple their power, their ability to project power outside of Iran, encourage a popular uprising that results in regime change. Now, we know Mossad told Netanyahu before the bombing that if there's a popular uprising, there will be no regime change, there will be mass slaughter. The regime will slaughter anybody who tries to rise up against the regime. But Netanyahu wants to turn Iran into Syria. He wants Iran broken into 1,000 little pieces, divide and conquer. He wants to turn Iran into Lebanon. They want instability. Think of Donald Trump. We all had bosses like Donald Trump. They come to work. They don't want stability. They want instability. They don't want anybody. They don't want the workers happy. And they don't want anybody feeling feisty and coming for their job. So divide and conquer, play people against one another. It's human nature. So that's what they want: Iran broken into little pieces. Well, CIA Director Ratcliffe, who never served in the military, he described the Israeli regime change scenario as, quote unquote, farcical. Good choice of words. Secretary of State Marco Rubio agreed with Ratcliffe, calling the scenarios, quote unquote, BS. I won't say the word. It's in the New York Times. I'd rather not, but BS. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, we know this, I've been telling you this, warned Trump that the Israelis tend to oversell their plans because they need U.S. assistance. And we all know that General Kane warned him, this was from reporting in the Washington Post, you can't do this alone. You need our European allies, and we don't have enough munitions. Even his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, said, I don't think it's going to work. It was J.D. Vance, his vice president, who warned that this war would cause chaos in the Persian Gulf, and it would be a betrayal to MAGA voters. So he was the most forceful opponent of the bombing campaign, alongside Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, who was responsible for J.D. Vance getting picked as vice president. We are now learning through the New York Times that Tucker Carlson was visiting the White House in mid-February, and he was warning Donald Trump, do not do this. It's a betrayal. You promised to put an end to these forever wars. And Trump didn't listen to him, did not listen to Tucker Carlson, did not listen to J.D. Vance, didn't listen to Susie Wiles, didn't listen to John Radcliffe, his CIA director, didn't listen to his chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Kane. He didn't listen to Marco Rubio. There was one person who told him to do it. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He was the one who said, let's do it. Trump ignored everyone's advice except Pete Hegseth's and Benjamin Netanyahu, and here we are.